Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as we are going for 200 subs. And let's get going today as, you know, I've been absent, well, during the weekends just due to hang out with the family and stuff. But we are back today. And the video today is my expectations of Jesse Puljujarvi. I watched the hockey guy, really good take on a little bit of what he said about Puljujarvi in his video from today, I believe it was. I believe today's the 26th. That is right, because I move on the 1st. So he talked about how Puljujarvi is going to go straight up with McDavid, no doubt about it. Personally, I don't think that's happening. So, why I don't think that's happening is because the Oilers went out and got Kyle Turris. Turris is a veteran player, same with Neil, can help, or even Archibald can help Puljujarvi. The next thing is, I don't expect Puljujarvi to be a 60, 70 point scorer and have his legs under him to keep up with McDavid. But before we get into that, let's take a look at Puljujarvi's stats in the SM Liga with Carpet. I probably pronounced that wrong, sorry. He has 5 games played, 5 goals, 2 assists, and he's 7 points. He's a +7, so basically whenever he scores, the other team doesn't score, and that's good. The number that gets me is, in Edmonton, he wasn't the most disciplined guy, but he wasn't, taking penalties every game. He has 4 penalty minutes. So 5 games, 2 penalties, that's good to me. People are going to take penalties. The refs are going to call a lot of stuff that, us as Oilers fans, or even Jesse Puljujarvi fans, we see that in everyday hockey where, the ref kind of makes a little bit of a chintzy call. Like, no one likes it. It was a weak call, but, you got to go with it because at the end of the day, it's the ref's decision. Now, back to my expectations here. I'd be surprised if Tippett went, Puljujarvi, you're with McDavid on the first line, first game back, so-and-so, you're with McDavid. I don't see that happening. I think he will be on the third line with Kyle Turris, and I'm kind of hoping James Neal. A lot of people have Archibald there, but if you look at the fourth line Archibald right now, it seems like Kara and Jason. That's a pretty banging line that can go hit anything. So playing with Neal and Turris, or even Ennis for the matter of fact in that argument as well, I believe Puljujarvi will be a 15-goal scorer. I don't see him hitting, like I said, the 60, 70 points this year. I see him hitting 30 to 45. That's pretty reasonable. Haven't played on North American ice yet in over a year and some, almost 2 years now, that, it's harder to get back into the North American ice. And I think with those guys, playing the 12 minutes a night will help him. And yes, eventually, if he's scoring like no tomorrow, put him with McDavid. See if it works. If it doesn't for the first 4 games, okay, well, we got Turris for 2 years. Let's make some chemistry out of this. And then the following season, put them back together. That's where I'm going with this, is I don't expect Puljujarvi to come in and be the 4th overall pick we drafted him in. His attitude has changed. He has grown up. I don't think he's going to be that type of player that goes, I'm playing with McDavid. I want top 6 minutes. Give me that or I'm not playing. Because that's who he was. He has grown as a person. And I can tell you, from a year before I met my girlfriend and became a father, a year can change a lot of people. And I believe, this for Puljujarvi, going back to Europe, playing in Europe, it grew him as a person. And, maybe he could have been in the NHL last year, but we've seen how good we did without him. We know how he could play and impact this team. 30 to 45 points can impact a team to the Stanley Cup. We see that in a lot of teams like Tampa Bay and stuff. Yeah, probably not the best because of goaltending situation, but you look at the depth this team has. Puljujarvi is the main depth player in the bottom three, besides Turris. I'd say just because the center position is one of the most important positions in hockey. But you also get the experience that Turris and Neal can give Jesse Puljujarvi, and like I said, he's grown as a person. I watched an interview of him after a game. He was smiling. He wasn't one of those guys that, yeah, they lost, but he wasn't bashing the team. He just said, we'll go get them next time, like a true guy should be. None of this, let's argue and call out teammates and stuff and, say I'm not playing. And that's why I think my expectations are, some people would say high, some people would say low. But Puljujarvi has grown. He will mature even more with Turris. And yeah, okay, if the new Draisaitl Yamamoto line goes, he's going to skip the second line and maybe have some playing time with McDavid. Another reason why I think he'll score 30 to 45 points is because he could go on the second power play unit with, a lot of people are saying maybe why don't we move Nuge to the second? Well, that's a good idea. Yes, Nuge can power play his own line. We've seen it before where a 5-on-5 he can manage his own line. Why not a power play line? Spread the wealth around. If your power play gets a bit cold, you move Nuge back to the first power play unit. Yippee-ki-yay, they score a bunch, okay. Well, the test for the second line wasn't good enough. But Puljujarvi will get more playing time. 12 minutes to start, I believe, is a good time range for him. 11 to 13 minutes, let's say that. Give him a little bit of a break in there. And I believe that, with chances on the second power play, if the Oilers actually do what I said in a video and go minute 15 with McDavid's line and then Puljujarvi's line goes for the other 45, even if he only puts up 7 power play points, 10 power play points, that means my predictions, he only has to score 20 to 35 points 5-on-5. But realistically, in the NHL for a third line, you should be able to do. So that is where I stand with Puljujarvi. I believe, my expectations of him is he's going to come in with a good attitude. He's going to come in and produce on that third line. I don't want him on the fourth line. The fourth line of Jason, Kara, and Archibald is a hard-hitting nose line, or even if you put Kazian and Archibald with McDavid, whatever. The third line is a perfect fit for him coming out of the gates. Yes, move him to the first line after a while. Get him going on maybe the first power play unit here and there. Instead of Chase on or Neal in front of the net, put Puljujarvi there for a couple times throughout the year. Get his confidence up. My third expectation is his confidence has to stay high. There's a reason he signed back with Edmonton. Keep that confidence going and, enjoy the time you have. This is a prove it or bust contract. You don't have another opportunity after these 2 years. Keep it going. Number 4, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he's going to score 20 goals this year. Coming back, playing third line, that's not realistic considering, second line guys usually only score 20 goals. But I'm going to put 20 goals and, 30 assists. I'm going 50 points max for Puljujarvi, which, like I said, third line numbers, time played, that's pretty good prediction for 82 games, 50 points. I'll revisit this if he gets less, but I won't take less than 40. Then his year 2 contract just kind of looks funny. Why are you paying the guy more when he actually did worse? But let me know in the comments what your expectations is. The main expectation I have for him is keep a positive attitude. That's all the Oilers are, positive attitude until they start losing. But you know, that's life. Everyone likes to be competitive. Like, I can even tell you on NHL, I get really competitive with Dolany TV. I tell them what to do because I like to win. But, you know, that is life. That is, you're gonna be competitive. And that is the video for today. Make sure you hit that sub button as we're going for 200. I'll catch you guys on the next one.